it does that too, for some reason. It's Max.
I have a question.
Yes.
Tell me about singing live and taking care of your voice. I've always wondered how artists sustain as far as singing concerts often, and how do you not wear your voice out? And tell me what you do to take care of your voice.
Oh, that's see, you're talking to a jazz singer. So I mean, an opera singer, they take meticulous care of their voices. But as a jazz singer, all I have to do is to show up at the venue.
It's that easy?
No,
you certainly make it look that easy.
Oh, no, that's very kind of you. No, the great thing about jazz is all about improvisation. So I wouldn't know what plays I'm playing with on the night till I show up. And when I get there, it's all about, we try to get each other's creativity and try to mash it together and produce something. Yeah, produce something, yeah.
Wow, so it's totally by your creative whim and what you're feeling at the moment, you and your band?
It's pretty much
that's
for live
way to
venue.
work,
yeah. For recordings, it's slightly
certainly
different.
not,
Yeah.
but yeah. For live performance. But you obviously have to take care of yourself and your voice, right?
Sure, so the vocal warm-ups on a daily basis, yeah. But
I've always heard that there are certain things you don't eat before you sing.
Oh,
are you aware of? Or or is there something that you can't eat before you sing? Or
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So I suppose I've been lucky in that sense, and I always tend to eat before I sing.
Okay. I've heard that dairy products make your voice, your throat, produce more phlegm, and so it's harder to sing. But that's.
Yeah.
I always am in admiration of anyone who does something live and it requires physical virtuosity. Someone's voice, like a dancer's body, someone's voice. It requires your being physically there and up to the challenge of doing it. So that it always interests me to ask an artist those kind of questions.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And with a jazz sets, typically we're doing 3 hours per night and 3 different sets. So.
Well, it's very physical singing, right? I mean,
So
you work up sweat up there, right?
Sure, definitely, and we kind of get used to it over time.
Yeah, awesome.
Julian,
Stephen.
Thank you. Julian, I'd like to ask you about your CD discography. Walk us through it. I've actually also spent the time getting your website up on the page and got some lovely pictures, so I just want to bring that right up because this is you looking very sultry, I think, on... is this your latest album cover? Or
that is.
And there you are in a charming little moment.
Oh.
And, these are lovely shots of you, by the way.
That's very kind of you.
I absolutely love them, actually. So tell us about your discography. And,
sure. So the latest project that I've been promoting is Deep Purple Dreams, and I've got a copy here. In front of you. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, let me just play my David Letterman. See, I'm actually wearing my BBC tie. There we go. This is Deep Purple Dreams. It's a lovely, evocative cover. Tell us about the why the cover. What inspired you to make this album?
Well, interestingly, that came about during a radio interview that I did. The interviewer was really intrigued by the fact that I knew all the standards, being the age that I am.
Which is...
Oh, no, you never asked me.
I so wanted to try to just get it out.
If you do,
we have a call coming in.
We have a call coming in.
Gosh.
Okay. Let me just see.
This is exciting.
To approach asking an age.
Caller, you're on the air. Hello? Hello, caller. Do I not have him? No. Okay. Sorry, I think we just missed him. I'm sorry.
Or just scare him away or her away.
That's right. Okay, so let's get back on track here. So back on the album.
Oh, the album. So yeah, it began during an interview that I did. The interviewer asked me if I were to be in a movie, what would I most like to portray? And instinctively, I just answer a vampire who lived through all these years living in jazz clubs. So that was the concept behind the CD, and my musical director and I sat together and talked about how how can we create a CD with that mysterious, sensuous vibe, with an element of danger, and yet, you know, being sung from the perspective of a vampire who lived through all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, there's a story behind it. Stephen, if you would do the honor, because you have such a great voice.
I'll be happy to. If I can.
Yes, so there's a story that's set in 1920s that tie the whole concepts together.
All right, so let me see. Am I supposed to then find the line?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so here we go. All right. Yeo took the job singing in the Bitter Melon, Yelena's club in Shanghai in February 1930, but it was almost July before he began to suspect. He discounted the pale skin because the Russians all looked like something out of a ghost story to him anyway, and the way she never left the club or her apartments upstairs between dawn and dusk held no mystery either, because he knew about her business affairs to know that her contacts and her clients all shunned the light of day as well. This was Shanghai after all, and the dangerous pleasures of sex and money and drink and opium and gambling were easily found by moonlight. By the time Yeo was sure that something was odd about her, there was the way that delivery men sometimes went up and never came down, for one thing. He was too in love with her to particularly care, and she loved him in return, and so she gave him the most precious gift she could offer. Once he was able to walk about the city again, they went out to see the premiere of a moving picture, The Jazz Singer. You could hear the actors talking and singing. They took it as a sign that the world was getting more exciting all the time, and they looked forward to watching it and to do so in each other's company. So that was me screwing it up.
Oh no, actually there's more to it, but Yelena and I didn't end up being together, but we would always get together. Exactly, yeah. But when our paths crossed, we would get together and talk about fine wine, cuisine, and all the conquers that we had, or the conquest that we had.
So for me to understand this, in other words, this is a vampire who is extremely old. He's gone through Shanghai of the 20s and the 30s. He's gone through the Second World War. And he's now gone ahead and recorded, presumably at night, this fabulous collection of standards that can... and he's got a certain... I mean, your singing has a very technically marvelous, precise quality about it, but there's a certain languor or ennui about it, which I think as a vampire would be par for the course. How does that ring home with you?
Well, that's beautifully described. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So, what is next for Julian Yeo?
Well, I'm back in the studio. I'm working on a 2-CD set album, Eat, Drink, Ballads, and Swing. So to me, jazz cannot be separated from food and beverage. When I'm cooking, I'm listening to jazz, whether I'm prepping or stirring or dining with friends.
A lot like when you were listening to your mother cook dinner.
Exactly.
That's lovely.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think that's probably where the idea came about. And, you know, when I think about times where I really enjoy a ballad, I can't think of times where I don't have my favorite beverage in my hand curling up in my favorite couch. So it's going to be a 2-CD set, one that's sort of what you would play when you're prepping and cooking, and the other one where you would just curl up in your favorite couch with your favorite beverage. It's a piano duo, and it's full of food references, so yeah, it's a fun CD.
Could you give us some examples of food references?
Sure. For instance, the song "At Long Last Love," it has the line, is it the real porterhouse or simply a steak? Let me think. A Fine Romance has references such as "We two should be like clams in a dish of chowder," or "We should be like a couple of hot tomatoes, but you just like yesterday's mashed potatoes," and other songs where you hear "If I were a goose, I'll be cooked."
That is great. So you're here in the Bay Area for how long, and then you're back to where? Tell us where, if you can, if you wish to. I mean,
sure. I should take the time to say that at the moment I have nothing scheduled in the Bay Area. I'll be here to end of August, but I am traveling back to New York for a few concerts. So for more information, do check out my website, julianyeo.com. And of course, all the CDs are available on Amazon.com, iTunes, and all the major retail online stores.
And I think they're absolutely marvelous. Why don't you just tell us what the titles are? And because you gave us a synopsis of the last one, how about just a little bit?
Oh, sure. My debut is All New Borrow Blue, which is paying homage to Rudy Valley. We try to create we try to create an era that sounds as if you just play it straight out from your gramophone. Then there's Unusual Passage, which is an homage to Fred Astaire, and last but not least, homage, which is to all the singers that I didn't get to pay tributes to in the other two albums.
That is wonderful. I got to thank Julian. Thank you so very much for being on the air. We actually have about 30 seconds left, and I know that you are a stranger to this end of the country. Thank you very much for visiting the left coast. And
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's been our pleasure, and I hope you can come back and visit us again.
Oh, absolutely.
And next week we actually have Mike Cabler, who is a fabulous collage artist. So we shall see you next time, and